Hi, Extension English. It is fantastic to see you. Welcome to day 2 and our English lesson. So I am actually going to start with reading you part of the appendix of Animal Farm because I just flicked it open and went, you know what, that's so relevant to your writing and your assessment task. Then I'll talk to you about how we'll structure our lessons and go from there. So let's get started. This book was first thought of, so far as the central ideas goes, in 1937, but was not written down until about the end of 1943. By the time when it came to be written, it was obvious that there would be great difficulty in getting it published, in spite of the present book shortage, which ensures that anything describable as a book will sell. And in the event, it was refused by 4 publishers. Only one of these had an ideological motive. 2 had been publishing anti-Russian books for years, and the other had no noticeable political colour. One publisher actually started by accepting the book, but after making the preliminary arrangements, he decided to consult the Ministry of Information, who appeared to have warned him, or at any rate strongly advised him, against publishing it. Here is an extract from his letter. I mentioned the reaction I had from an important official in the Ministry of Information with regard to Animal Farm. I must confess that this expression of opinion has given me serious time to think. I can now see that it might be regarded as something which it was highly ill-advised to publish at the present time. If the fable were addressed generally to dictators and dictatorships at large, then publication would be all right. But the fable does follow, as I see now, so completely the progress of the Russian Soviets and their 2 dictators that it can apply only to Russia, to the exclusion of their other dictatorships. Another thing, it would be less offensive if the predominant caste in the fable were not pigs. I think the choice of pigs as the ruling caste will no doubt give offence to many people, and particularly to anyone who is a bit touchy, as undoubtedly the Russians are. This kind of thing is not a good symptom. Obviously, it is not desirable that a government department should have any power of censorship, except security censorship, which no one objects to in wartime, over books which are not officially sponsored. But the chief danger to freedom of thought and speech at this moment is not the direct interference of the MOI or any official body. If publishers and editors exert themselves to keep certain topics out of print, it is not because they are frightened of prosecution, but because they are frightened of public opinion. In this country, intellectual cowardice is the worst enemy of a writer or journalist has to face, and that fact does not seem to me to have the discussion it deserves. So leaving that there, because I will run out of time, as I have been with all my screencast files, just thought it was an interesting thing to grapple with in terms of those political ideologies that we're talking about and how power and publication are related. Anyhow, let's go through this nice and quick. This is your workflow document, and by now, because of all your other subjects, I'm imagining you will know what that is. But let's have a quick look at what's inside it. Okay. We have your lesson activities, which will go in here. And you have who's online, which is myself, the teacher. And here I'd like you to write in that you're online, so I know that you're there. And in this part here, you write in what questions you might have. So what are you going to be doing in week 9 in English? You've got your assessment task to start with. So checkpoint 2 is due at the end of today. Okay, and I will start giving you feedback on your drafts at the end of today. So let's make that a fair bit of a priority. Secondly, if you go all the way down to your week, as we've already discussed, your work is here. So at the end of this week, you need to have your chapter analysis work finished. You need to have looked at both language analysis and symbols and motifs, and you need to have written down some techniques that are used in Animal Farm to get through ideas. Thanks, guys.